Hey everyone, this is Jared.
And this is Ryan.
From the Game Room, and this week we're bringing some more 4.1 patch notes to you. This week it's Warriors and whatever else we feel like talking about. So without further ado, Ryan, take it away.
This is probably my least favorite change out of everything we've talked about in the last couple weeks. Charge and Intercept no longer have diminishing returns on their stun effects. So, just kill me. Colossus Smash, this kind of makes up for it though. Colossus Smash now absorbs 50% of the hostile player's armor in PvP, but continues to ignore 100% of non-player character armor for PvE. So that's cool. Heroic Throw is now available at level 20. That's kind of cool. Heroic Leap is no longer on the global cooldown, similar to other warrior movement abilities. I'm okay with that. Inner Rage is now available at level 56. Great. Pummel is now usable in all stances. I don't play a caster, so I don't really care about this. Rallying Cry, new ability, is available from trainers at level 83. Temporarily grants the warrior and all party or raid members within 30 yards 20% of their maximum health for 10 seconds. After the effect expires, the health is lost. It has no cost, no stance requirements, and is not on the global cooldown, similar to any other survivability cooldown, so it's okay. 3-minute cooldown, and it shares a cooldown with Last Stand. So, there you go. Shield Bash has been removed from the game. So, Prot Warriors don't have
anything.
Well, they used to have 2 stuns because or not stuns, interrupts. Because they could, switch stances, do Pummel, and then switch back to Prot and do Shield Bash. But now they can't do that, and Pummel is usable in all stances, so it really doesn't do very much to the gameplay at all. It's just...
yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Spell Reflection cooldown has been increased to 25 seconds, up from 10. Whirlwind now has its cooldown reduced by 6 seconds when it deals damage to 4 or more targets. The Whirlwind effect caused by Blade Storm remains unchanged.
Yeah.
Talents.
Arms. Improved Hamstring now reduces the global cooldown on Hamstring by 0.25 to 0.5 seconds in addition to its current effects. Juggernaut no longer adds 2 seconds to the charge stun, but instead lowers the cooldown of charge by 2 seconds to 13 seconds total without the glyph. Without. Lambs to the Slaughter now causes Mortal Strike to refresh, rend in addition to its current effects, and Strikes of Opportunity value per point of mastery has been increased by 10%. 10%.
Oh my god! No. Nope. Fury. Precision is the passive that increases damage by your left hand. Off hand. Now increases auto attack damage by 40% in additional to 3% hit it currently offers. And Unshackled Fury now only grants 2 base points of mastery, down from 8. I don't play Warrior, I don't know what that is. But there's the information.
Protection Warriors, oh my god. Shield Mastery no longer affects the cooldown of Spell Reflection. However, it now allows Shield Block to proc a second aura that reduces magic damage by 7, 14 to 20% for 6 seconds. And Gag Order now applies to Pummel and Heroic Throw, giving these abilities a 100% chance to silence the target for 3 seconds. In addition, Gag Order lowers the cooldown of Heroic Throw by 30 seconds.
Great! I love this.
And Glyphs. Glyphs of Spell Reflection now reduces the cooldown of Spell Reflect by 5 seconds, up from 1 second.
Wow, that is
a huge one.
4 seconds.
4.
God.
Oh my
Alright, so let's see. We got Dungeon Finder stuff.
Yeah, Dungeon Finder, they added this new thing where tanks and healers now get even more incentive to queue in the Dungeon Finder, you get this little baggie that has a bunch of little gifts and stuff in it, like, I don't know, mounts. Really cool looking mounts that you wouldn't be able to get unless you grinded for months upon end.
But they're making it okay though, because they're kind of like they're making the bags BOA. So like the stuff in them isn't, but you can like right click it and open it and see what's in it, then like not loot it and then send it off to your main. So you can get like you won't be like, I got this cool mount, too bad it's on my alt. They're trying to avoid that kind of thing, so it works out.
Yeah. So I mean, it works out because like all the DPS people, like there otherwise would be a lot of QQ about it, because all the DPS, they'd be like, well, there's never a DPS call to arms, and there never will be, ever. Because,
just forget about it.
There just isn't a need for DPS. There's just way too many. So they can just roll an alt, and, you know, whenever they need to, like, there's a call to arms for tanks for, like, level 30 to 35 or something. They can just hop on that alt and get the same thing that, you know, everyone else that, you know, is at level 85 doing the same thing gets from it. So it's not as much of a double-edged.
Until it's actually put in the game, we can't really tell what it's going to do, because I mean, if you watch any other shows that do similar stuff to what we're doing, you've heard them talk about it. Like it's not going to be like a permanent thing. Like it'll proc, so to speak, and then there'll be a call to arms for tanks for a little bit, but then a bunch of tanks will drop in the queue, and then it'll go away. Yeah. The healers will pop up. The call to arms for healers will pop up, then there'll be a bunch of healers, and it'll go away. So it's like it's not like it's just passively you just get all this stuff.
And it's not like it's just going to be back and forth, healers tank, healer tank, healer tank. It's only going to be when there's a dire need of tanks. Like if there's just way too many DPS and like 5 or so more healers than there are tanks at the time, then tanks are going to get the call to arms. And then once those 5 spots are filled, then
it'll go back to normal.
So it's not like it's going to be like tanks and healers are just going to be overloaded with all this crap. It's you know,
so
it's
really,
not as much of a double-edged sword as it's, you know, playing out to be. But still could be.
I like it because I mean, as a hunter, as a PvP hunter, I don't ever do dungeons.
There's no need to.
I just dread now. Like I tried to the other day. I really can't stand it anymore. Yeah,
and you know,
so I mean, it's going to mean faster queue times regardless.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's win-win.
Yeah. And last but not least, if I can get to it in this. Oh, here we go. Guild challenges are now available. These include dungeons, rated battlegrounds, and raids. So get in a guild. Like if you haven't already for the perks, get in a guild, especially before this thing hits, because like really, like they're just paving a way to fast track to level 25 guilds. Like, not to mention all the guild rep you get for it.
And not to mention, even more, after 4.1, everything is going to give guild XP, and guild XP gives you guild rep. So, like, even if you're by yourself, like, you get guild XP and rep from questing by yourself, now you're going to get guild XP and rep from battlegrounds by yourself, dungeons by yourself. Like, it's just going to be... It's going to be easy peasy to get your guild level 25.
Exactly.
So it's going to be awesome. And get guild rep, so you can get that freaking Golden King or Scorpion, whatever it's called.
Whichever
faction you prefer.
But what makes this even more interesting is they're now putting in a guild finder, which
I've seen some like footage of this, and it actually looks like it's really smooth and it's really clean cut on what it wants to do. Like it has a thing right here, it says like you want, like it's like a series of check boxes. Like up at the top, it has rating, PvP, or casual, or leveling, or something like that. Yeah. And you can check off one or all of those if you want to. Yeah. And then it says like what are you most interested in? And well, that's kind of covered by the first thing. They need to kind of change that a little bit. Then it's like for like if you pick rating, like it brings up a thing to where you're for like your availability. It says like, well, it might have it for everything. I'm not sure. It has like a checkbox for weekdays and a checkbox for weekends.
Yeah.
So it's vague, but it's there. I think it'll be pretty cool because maybe we'll have like less like guild recruitment spam and trade chat.
And there's still going to be some because, I mean, people are still going to want to get their name out just because, you know, Guild Finder, you can only go by so much. You can only go by, you know, okay, their rating, they do a little bit of PvP, and they have characters they're leveling. Okay, that's all 3 checkboxes. That opens it up to every guild that has either of those 3 checked. So
which is going to be all of them. Like no guild is not going to have one of those checked. We're a nothing guild. We don't do anything.
We just hang around.
We just talk all the time. So I mean, because I mean I didn't think about that. That's a good point. Like if you check all 3 or however many there are, every guild is going to come up in that list.
Yeah.
So I didn't really think about that, but it's still in testing and it's still got a lot of like improvements that can be made to it. So
yeah, what I would like to see is a place for guilds to put a description of what they do, like more in depth, like times, not like weekdays and weekends. That's ridiculously vague. Like most raiding guilds, they have strict times where, you know, it's, you know, 8 o'clock start, we go to midnight. Period. End of discussion. If you can't do that, you can't be in this guild. That's just how it goes. And if you can only check weekends or weekdays, there's kind of like an open space there where, you know, you can't really like choose. You know, you can only go by the list of guilds that is right there in front of you.
And that's I mean, Blizzard has that in mind. I mean, they're not stupid about it. I mean, for the more, even some of the, I was going to say for the more serious like raiding guilds that have schedules like that, even some of the more casual ones like have websites that you have to go apply to, and you can put a more detailed version of your schedule there.
Yeah.
So like if you don't raid on weekdays at all and you just raid on weekends, then it'll be like, okay, well this person checked weekends, so we'll be able to have them, but we don't know exactly when yet.
Yeah.
So like if they see someone with weekdays and not weekends checked, then they know they won't get that person.
See, like, this just brings me on to another tangent of, you know, the possibility of, you know, you check that, and this, like, gives you an opportunity to apply for the guild, to where you send an in-game mail to the guild leader, and he checks, and you have your times listed or something. Like, it could be a little bit more than what
I wouldn't be surprised if that's a good idea. I wouldn't be surprised if they put that in to where, like, because, I mean, essentially that's what you're doing. You're applying for a guild with the Guild Finder. It might not make it more advanced.
Yeah. It just makes it a little bit easier to, you know, hey, look, there's actually a guild out here. Like, if you see a guild name that you really like, hey, let's click that one. I want to apply to that, you know.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. So, all in all, some pretty good changes going on.
Yeah. Aside from that warrior bull. The rest is good, but that one's just no.
Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for us for the 4.1 patch notes, unless they come out with any ridiculous changes. And if they come out with a actual release date for this patch,
hopefully it's going to be freaking next Tuesday. I've been waiting for this one for so long.
It's been over a month that they've had these patch notes out.
Gosh, I thought it was going to be last Tuesday.
Yeah. And then this
I
Tuesday
really
came.
did. And then it wasn't, and I was just, I died a little bit inside. So
that's usually how it works with Blizzard, though. Anyways, that's all we have for this week. I'm Jared.
I'm Ryan.
And this is The Game Room. Subscribe, leave questions in the comments, or email us at thegameroomchannel@gmail.com. And follow us on Twitter, The Game Room Chan. We're also on Facebook. But anyways, that's it. See you guys later.